Good morning and thank you for joining me. I'm Sean from Urban Tactical Survival. And on this beautiful day, it's a nice day out today, I figure I'd come out here and go over in depth and get a cup of coffee going and go in depth review about a cook set I did a number of years ago. So I'm gonna go over this cook set again. I felt it needed some just due attention. It's a great cook set. This is an Alocs 7-piece cook set. It's an awesome set. So without further ado, let me go ahead and open this bag up. I'm gonna readjust the camera angle so I can focus on the cook set and get a cup of coffee going. So stay with me. Okay, so here, as you see, this is an Alocs cook set, a 7-piece cook set. Comes in this nice burgundy colored red, or burgundy if you want to call it that. I think it's red. Mesh bag. Has a drawstring on the top to close it up. So let's go ahead and open this up and take out the contents and put it together. This is a cook set I did a review on a good number of years ago, and I figure I'd come out and use it again this morning and get a cup of coffee going. Haven't had my coffee this morning, so. Okay, so here's the bag. Nice stuff sack to go with it. And here's the set, Alocs cook set as it comes inside the bag. Let's take this apart piece by piece. Here we have the base, and this base locks into the top portion of the cook set. Has these little dimples here that lock into the other part. We have a cup slash, I don't know, a little cook pot that you can use either as a top for the pot, or you can use this as a cup to eat out of or drink, whatever. It has multiple uses. So set that on the side. Here we have I wouldn't call it a grill top, but this is a top that the pot stand, I call it a pot stand. The pot was set on once you put this all together, the whole entire unit together. This is what the pot would actually sit on top of, keep it from falling right through. So this portion here, this thing here will get extremely hot once you get the trangia burner going. So you don't want to touch this after you get the fire going. And inside here we have the trangia burner. Okay, I'm sure you guys have seen trangias before. It also comes with a nice towel here to wipe up and clean up after you're finished. Set that to the side. Here is the pot we'll be cooking out of. And I tell you, I like this pot. I like any pot that has graduation marks. And this one has a generous amount of marks on it. You're looking at it here and everything's backwards because they focus their attention on the inside. I don't know if you can see that, but it goes up to 8 milliliters of fluid, 24 ounces of fluid. A cup or pot with graduation marks is excellent. It takes the guesswork out of how much liquid you might have in your pot or whatever you're cooking, how much substance you might have in your pot. It also has these rubberized handles. These are butterfly type handles that open up and they lock into each other. I like that because the pot gets hot. You won't feel it because you're holding on to the handle here and it's got rubberized coating on there. So that's a great addition to it. I really like that about the pot and the graduation marks. That's excellent. I'm glad they did that. This is a anodized aluminum. It is a gray in color. So it's a nice gray color. I like the colors. And here is the top portion, which acts as a windscreen for the trangia. So the trangia was set down in this little ring here, and this whole entire portion here would act as a windscreen. So it has its own little built-in windscreen, and I like that. So let's go ahead and lock this together. As I said, you have these little dimples right here. You got 3 of them here, and you have 3 slots on the bottom here that they lock into. So you just line them up. Once you got them in there, you do a nice little turn, and they lock in there. That's not gonna come out. They're not gonna come out. So set that there. Now let's go ahead and fuel up our trangia. Normally I would not like to travel with a alcohol stove of this type, or any alcohol stove with fuel in it, because you don't want the possibility of fuel spilling out. Will cause a mess. So I'm using the bottle here from my Pathfinder bottle kit. The fuel I use in this is called heat. That's something that you can get readily available anywhere at your local hardware store, or your local auto store. It burns very clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour some in here, enough to get a nice burn and get a pot of coffee here. There we go. This trangia burner here is about 2 ounces. So that's a 2 ounce fuel capacity. I'm gonna set that right down there in the center there. Move all this other stuff to the side. I'm not gonna use that now. And put the top back onto my fuel. There we go. So now you wanna put the pot stand on first. I made the mistake years ago firing it up and then tried to put the pot stand on, and I felt the heat. It wasn't nice. So let's go ahead and fire that up. Got a ferrocerium rod here. Okay. Yeah, it's lit. I feel it. So I'm gonna give that a minute to go ahead and stoke up and get all nice and hot. I got some water here. And I'm gonna put, let's see, I'm gonna put 16 ounces of water. That should be enough for a nice cup of coffee. Like I said, the graduation marks inside of a pot, it's just an excellent added addition. I mean, it takes the guesswork out of trying to figure out how much liquid you have inside. And then if you got too much, you can always pour it out. But I'm doing 16 ounces in here. So I want to set that on top, just like that. And the little cup that I mentioned, you can use as a top. That's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put that on like so, and let that go ahead and windscreen is protecting the flame. So any wind that might blow past here, it is protecting it. So go ahead and let that come to a nice boil, or just before a nice rapid boil. This is a nice little cook set. It's right nice and sturdy. It's not too tall where it would get cumbersome and like fall over on you. I like this cook set. I've used it many times. I believe that the distance between the burner and the bottom of the pot should be a little shorter. So that's a con, you know, to the cook set. I would like that been a little shorter. I don't know, bring it a little closer. But other than that, I mean, there's not too many cons to the system, other than the fact that you won't be able to grill and cook any steaks or anything on top of this. If you had like a Mountain House dehydrated meal, you could do that. Boil the water here for a dehydrated meal. You might be able to even cook some a little pot of stew or some chicken noodle soup or something in there, or some ramen noodles, or it's early in the morning and you like oatmeal, you can cook that inside there. But the cons to this system is that you won't be able to grill any steaks or anything. It doesn't have the surface, you know, area for a grill. And then even with that, I mean, the flame is just too low to the pot and to the top surface up here, the pot stand. So it's too low. I'd like that a little taller, so you get more of the flame up under the pot. But so far it's doing a good job. I do have a little non-stick skillet I've never tried. Once this pot of coffee is done, I'm gonna go ahead and see if this nice non-stick skillet will be able to fit on top of there. Show you what that looks like in conjunction to the cook set here. So, nice little non-stick skillet, nothing fancy. There you go. So yeah, I got out early this morning. I decided to come to a local park that I normally frequently come to, and go ahead and bring this out and go ahead and fix me a cup of coffee while I'm here. It's a nice day, cloudy, it's pretty warm. I'd say maybe about 50, 55 maybe. It's nice cloudy. I'm hearing and on the internet, I've checked my phone, I hear that we're due for some snow, some early snow coming this Wednesday. Not looking forward to that, not at all. But it is what it is. Can't stop Mother Nature. So I have everything here to make me a nice good cup of coffee, my coffee of choice. And I have my sugar and my creamer of choice. And of course, I do have my cup of choice. I love this cup. So we'll be having coffee out of that cup. And this is cowboy style of making coffee. What they say about splashing cold water on top of the coffee grinds inside the pot will force them down to the bottom. I've tried that many times, and it has just not worked in my favor. Although there was a reduced amount of grinds in my cup, but still, I don't want to drink a cup of coffee and have to spit out coffee grinds. So I have incorporated MSR Mugmate, which is a coffee strainer that I strain my coffee through, and I'm guaranteed no coffee grinds in my coffee. I use that religiously anytime I'm doing cowboy style coffee out in the field. So that stays with me. So as you can see, the flame is it is pretty high, but I like it closer. I would like it closer to that top, to the bottom of the pot. Let's see what we got going here. Yes, got some steam rising off the pot. Now this does have, like with all trangia alcohol burners, it does have a regulator that you can regulate the flame once you finish cooking and you want to use, maybe you don't want a full-blown flame going underneath there. So you throw this on here and you close it up and you get maybe just a simmer, just to keep things nice and warm. Take a peek. It's almost ready. I don't want the water to come to a complete boil. I would have to let it set because you don't want to put coffee into rapidly boiling water. You stand the chance of scorching the coffee, and you don't want to do that. So my water is nice and hot. Let's pull that off. Set that down. Now, let's go ahead and use this regulator. Put that in there. Just for a nice simmer. Push that back a little bit. Now this base is pretty cool to the touch. As I'm touching it, it is warm, but it's not as hot as what's up top here. I would not even chance grabbing this top up here because flames are just pouring out from the burner. So this top portion up here is extremely hot. So you do want to be very careful when trying to handle that. You can move it and push it aside if you need be, but I wouldn't grab it with my hands trying to lift it up. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this coffee in here. That'd be enough right there. And set that in there. Get that nice and working in there. Now after you get the coffee in your water, you do want to let it set for a minute in the hot water. Okay. And put the top back on there. Let that set for a minute while I go ahead and set up my coffee cup. Like I said, I got some sugar here. And I got my favorite creamer. Put a little of that in there. And I do have my strainer. So I will set that down in the cup. Down in there like so. And then pour the coffee directly inside the strainer here, because I do not want any coffee grinds. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the skillet I have, I see it will sit up there, but it does rock. So it's not a solid surface. It does sit up there. So if you had anything that you wanted to cook in a small skillet such as this, that could be done, but it's not sitting flat. It does have some movement to the skillet on top of there. And that's due to the fact that this is a round surface here, and you don't have anything solid sitting on top of here that you can sit on top of. But the skillet does work. So you can get that up there. You can cook some eggs. You can fry some bacon, I guess. And you probably fry some chicken or some small pork chops or a small piece of steak in there. In the skillet, that is, on top of this stove. So let's go ahead and there we go here. Pour it inside. And this captures a good portion of all of the coffee grinds. Set that back in there. There. Now I might want to have another cup. So I'm gonna pour some more water in here and then open this regulator. Open that regulator up a little bit. Set that back there. And let's set that pot up there. Okay. Nice cup of coffee. Bon appetit. Yes. Wish you had smell-o-vision or even taste-o-vision. Taste this. So, nice cup of coffee made with the 7-piece Alocs cook set. Anodized, coated, gray, aluminum. Here, I mentioned earlier, you can use this as a cup to eat out of, or drink out of, or even as a lid for the pot. Graduation marks is always a plus for any cup or pot that you're working with. It's like I said, it takes out the guesswork of working, trying to figure out how much fuel you have in your pot or how much substance that you're working with, whether it's a stew, ramen noodles, soup, or whatever you're cooking in, a rice, pasta. Takes the guesswork of how much you got in there. Then as far as the burner is concerned, this has its own built-in windscreen. So it blocks all the wind from blowing in any direction. The trangia burner works perfectly. And when working with a burner such as this, you when you're done, say I'm done here, I want to close this up all the way. And then I want to snuff out my flame, save the fuel for something else I might want to cook later, and just flame is snuffed out. And always the top that goes on top of the trangia burner, you do not want to put this on directly after you're finished with that burner. there is an O-ring in the top of this, on the inside, that helps contain any fuel that you might have inside of your burner. And you don't want to put this on directly after you're finished with that, because that surface will be extremely hot and it would melt and singe this O-ring on top of the burner, rendering the burner useless. You'd have to scrape all this rubber off of there. It'll make a mess. So give your burner time to cool off before you put the top back on for storage. I normally wouldn't carry the burner with fuel in it because of spillage, but this O-ring on this top has been doing a good job in keeping that from happening. So yeah, and the base locks into the top portion of it, so it's not going to come apart on you. It's a nice solid stand. So it's a good little cook system. And as I just demonstrated, we can cook with a small skillet. I do have an egg skillet, a smaller skillet that you can make nothing but just eggs in. I'm pretty sure that would fit up top there nice and perfectly. Let's see. Pull out my little egg skillet. Very tiny. Take this pot off and let's see. I'm pretty sure it was set up there nice and perfectly. I'd be correct. So you wanted to cook a nice egg for like an egg McMuffin or something, that sits in there nice and perfectly. Nice and flat surface. So you can use the egg skillet. So there we have it. Alec and my mug mate, my MSR mug mate, which helps out with capturing coffee grinds. So if you don't know if you can see that down there in the bottom there is a substantial amount of coffee grinds. All of that would have been in my coffee cup, and I don't want that. So there, captures it all for me. So put the top back on there, keep that relatively warm, so I finish this cup of coffee. Which is a good cup of coffee. So check them out. I'll leave the information on this cook set and down in the description box. Feel free to hit the like and subscribe button if you'd like. Thought this video was very informative and you enjoyed the what I've done here, and sorry you couldn't be here for a cup of coffee and enjoy it with me. I would love to have you here, but I am having this cup for the both of us, for all of us who are watching. Thank you for watching. And I'll leave all the information down in the description down below. If you'd like, hit that like and subscribe button and hit that bell notification. Anytime I put up a video, you will get notification of that. And please leave your comments. If you have any comments on this system, leave your comments. Let me know what you think about it. Yay or nay? Yeah, let me know. I do go back and check out the comments every other day. I'm always checking them out. So please leave your comments and I'll get back to them. So until another video, This is Sean. Remember, now is the time to prepare, and always check your six. Till the next time, peace out.